Before I get into this review, I'd highly encourage anyone watching to check out this response to my Gran Turismo 2 review from a YouTuber known as The Rainmaker. I'm honestly surprised this video even exists considering how badly my GT2 review performed, but nonetheless, I think it's a very interesting video that you should definitely check out and give a like. Now without any further delay, let's get into the review.
Greetings fellow people of YouTube, it is I, SlayerCoon here. It's been a long time since I've shown my ugly face on camera. 2 years to be exact. Going back to those videos is not a comfortable experience, but we're not talking about that. Today I'm here with another review on a game from my childhood, more specifically one that I have overwhelmingly negative memories with. And it's a game that's fairly obscure. The game I'm talking about is Super Bubble Pop, released for the original PlayStation in 2002. You probably haven't heard of this game, and you're not missing much, because it's fucking terrible. Unfortunately, I don't have my original copy of the game, but I do have the case. I have Gran Turismo 2 in here. Yeah, a game I'd rather be playing than this, but as you can see, Super Bubble Pop. Not a very good game at all.
2001 was an odd year for gaming. The PS2 was quickly starting to pick up in sales, but the PS1 was still fairly popular and had a large install base. If you released a game for the PS1 in 2001, there was still a decent chance that it would be at least mildly successful. For instance, the PS1 version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 sold around 1 million copies on the PS1. And one of the top 10 best-selling PS1 games actually came out in 2001. However, by 2002, with Gran Turismo 3, Metal Gear Solid 2, and GTA 3 out on the market, and Vice City out on the horizon, the PS1 became unprofitable. Only unfortunate souls like I continue to buy games for the system. Super Bubble Pop is one of the many late-life PS1 games, and it's one of the worst. Now, just to clarify, I am emulating this, because spending money on a game with the name Super Bubble Pop just doesn't sound worth it. Upon booting up the game, I noticed a rather major flaw with the emulated version as soon as I started playing. There's no music. Playing this game as a kid, I remember there being some mediocre techno music in the background, and there's even a jukebox setting, but no matter how many times I screw around with the settings, it remains silent. So the file I downloaded must either be corrupted or some sort of bootleg version. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of puzzle games, or puzzles in general. Not because I find them hard or anything, but because I personally find them to be really boring. I prefer my games to have adventure and personality to them, and this game has no personality. Did anyone back in 2002 want to pop bubbles? I'd rather be skating fast and eating ass, beating up hookers, driving Japanese sports cars, anything but popping bubbles. It's no wonder this game barely has any reviews of it online. Aside from it being a small-time release, the game is really fucking boring, especially since my version doesn't have the soundtrack. I did, however, take a listen to a bit of the soundtrack on YouTube, and it is some fairly decent early 2000s techno music. Nothing particularly special, but it probably is the only good thing about this game. But that's far from a reason to buy it. The gameplay is very subpar even for a puzzle game, and it has about as much content as those 99-cent phone games that people play on the toilet. And considering this game was probably $20 or so when it came out, it's a ripoff. Even emulating it feels like a ripoff.
This game is so bad that I would rather eat
I have no shame in admitting I only played this game for 30 minutes while making this review. Just playing it reminds me of the disappointment I felt when my grandmother bought this game for me as a child. I don't care about what unlockables this game might have. I don't care about unlocking the other characters. I just don't care. Playing this game is not fun at all. It's an insult to puzzle games and an even bigger insult to the legacy of the PS1. I had more fun playing Bubsy 3D, if only due to the fact that game was at least interesting. I wouldn't recommend playing this game at all. But if you do want to check this game out, don't buy it. Either emulate it like I did, or stop by your nearest retro game store and shoplift a copy. Either that, or you could check out the GameCube and Xbox versions of this game, which I assume are at least slightly better than the version I had as a kid. Although that probably isn't saying much. There were simply better games out at the time back in 2002. GTA Vice City, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, Ratchet & Clank, Super Mario Sunshine, Sly Cooper. So many great games that I could have played had I only had a PS2 at the time.